Lily. Hello, chat
Hello.
womp womp.
I want to watch this now.
Now I know this might be rude to you, Lily, but I just want to send my regards and best wishes, and all love. I mean at least 50% of my support to Iron Mouse. She deserves better.
Oh, she deserves better. Oh my god, dude. My heart dropped when I saw this. The drama frogs got into my chat yesterday, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? Leave me the fuck alone. I have to educate myself first. Dude, I saw the drama frogs in my chat as I was about to end stream. I was like, brother, oh, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
And then I was on Twitter and I was like, what's going on? And then I was on YouTube and I was like,
Oh!
no way! No, they gotta Lily explain. I mean, I did open a can of worms on
Can
Twitter.
I get a womp womp for the mouse?
What happened?
She drops the contract details? Okay. I'm hyped.
Worm for my mouse.
I'm hyped. Let's
Poor
go.
Mouse. It must be so fucking scary to do this. Oh, like the fucking
This just
goosebumps
in,
I
owner
had.
of Daily Dose of Shoujo YouTube channel dead of a heart attack.
What happened with Mouse? Is she okay? I hope so. I don't think that's easy to digest. No,
Yeah.
she must have been literally shaking and quivering when
Shaking and crying.
you know, being opening up about what's going on. Oh fuck. I'm just sad that the feeling I had when they tried to recruit me is something that actually proved right. That
Okay.
it saddens me, dude. It fucking
I saw your
saddens me.
tweet. Okay.
Yeah, my gut feeling was right. Fuck me, dude. Your gut's never lied, has it? Oh, my gut's been betraying me quite a bit. Have you seen how much constipation I've had to go through? No, but jokes aside, though, you can't always trust a gut feeling. I know I got a pretty solid gut feeling, but it's in the end of the day, it's just that.
True.
It's a fucking gut feeling, bro.
Sometimes your gut feeling can be schizo. I agree.
In the end of the day, it's just that. It's still been plenty wrong or like overreacted or. You know, like I've been through stuff in life. Sometimes you hang on to red flags a bit too much. You know, like it's a gut feeling for a reason. You can't always trust it.
Okay.
There's always something strange when very big and reputable people leave, and that's when the pain chips. You know, and you're like, ah. Yeah, I'm so sad for Miles. I'm gonna be asking Lily's gut for future decisions. Don't do that. Don't rely on other people's gut feelings. Make your own. It's been plenty wrong too.
I'm just gonna say this so the chat stops asking about it. Chat,
Yes.
they're all gone. Everyone.
Oh.
Even the Japanese girls.
Oh.
They're literally all gone.
They're all
There is
gone.
effectively no shoujo anymore.
They're
I
all
think
gone.
Your toilet will think
Wiped.
different about your solid
Atomized.
guts.
Yeah, I think so too.
Who can we trust anymore? You can trust me. Because I would never lie to you guys. I don't have an incentive to lie. You can trust me. I would never, ever peddle an impression out of people. Out of 4 corpos. You know? Even for 5 grand to make like a 1-minute segment about it in videos where I show somebody, I absolutely will not. I would never do that.
Dude, like being greedy is one thing, which was my biggest issue, and the things I've heard that go on in within. Because, you know, employees leave, and if they don't make them sign do not compete, well, those employees can talk. Dude, I thought it was a bit cringe how people literally had absolutely zero comprehension and just like tried to make the situation either into a funny or literally into a drama or rage bait. That was so uncool. I was like, brother, that was so uncool. Yeah.
Wait,
fucking
what?
literal Twitter moment. Like some people have to literally be dead ass sometimes. It's like, brother, you're probably like 11 years old. I want to say it's okay, but it really isn't. But I hope eventually over time you'll learn when it's the right time to be a dumbass and to be quote unquote funny and when not. Yeah, it was mad cringe. Yeah, I hope Miles gets everything. She is old. Sorry, let me catch you up to date. We open a can of worms. It's one of those topics that will be impossible to not talk about when like the entire foundation that is the Western VTubing will be talking about this. I'll look like a fucking clown if I pretend nothing's going on, bro. But super long story short, Miles addressed some concerns often within VShojo and how VShojo is owing people large amounts of money. Amongst those people being 500,000 that is owed to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. The IDF.
You know what I mean, sorry.
they owe her directly to, yes, but we don't know what they owe to each other talent. We know for a fact they owe to the Immunodeficiency Foundation. Yeah, literally fucking sucks. And also, I made a tweet opening up
Surprised you haven't gotten a gambling sponsor yet. I wish I get a gambling sponsor.
about them recruiting me in 2023. Let me just talk.
Yeah, actually, you know what? VShojo, Shylily being added to VShojo in 2023 would have been the ultimate power move against Nijisanji.
Talk real quick about this because I opened a can of worms. Nothing that I didn't expect. I absolutely did hope that, you know,
2023 was also the year that fucking, you know, the three left, Silvervale, Nianers, and Vebe. So it would have been one of the ultimate redemption tool. I can see why they wanted to send them a contract.
make a splash because that's
And I'm sorry for pausing it. And like, here's the thing too, chat. Like after Vay, Nian, and Silver left, we all kind of assumed that the contract must have improved because of the new members, and like a lot of the members glazing it. Like, you know, like, yeah.
splash in exchange will hopefully fund the engagement and help ultimately the donation link to the actual charity. So that was, you know, calculated. If you can turn a shit situation into something helpful, I always will. But VShojo reached out to me in 2023,
Okay.
asking me if I want to join at the end. I think it was at the end, and I don't want to be too uneducated. I can just check. Hold up, before I say shit. I think it was the end of 2023.
Okay.
I can check. I can literally just check. Okay, it was summer, so it was the second half of the year of 2023. And before I say anything,
Yeah, that's exactly when they fucking. That's almost after they booted. Not booted, but like after Vay, Nian, and Silvervale left, they absolutely scrambled. Look, just from that statement alone, they scrambled to look for new talents to add to the roster, so they can not just scam them, but also up the PR. It was absolutely like a calculated move.
I've already seen some like weird ass drama schizo, some like neglected, freaking brain rotten people try and, you know, already drama the situation of like, so nice of you to let other people run into the fucking fire. VShojo doesn't send out fucking newsletters of people who are about to join to the entirety that is the VTubing scene. I don't fucking know who's joining, brother. On top of that, my contract that I called legal robbery,
Can we
and I
say
will
that
stand
this
by
will be the
this.
end of corporate
Okay.
tubers in the US?
No, I don't
At this
think
point,
so.
I can't see tubers willing to take the risk
Drop it.
anymore.
No, I
Also,
don't
Drop
Mickey
it.
Mouse and all
Drop
other
it.
Shoujo
Yes, much
talents
love to
that
them.
been affected.
Anyway, I'm gonna pause stuff for now. Yeah, Neo TJ is what I'll talk about. Pause. I don't waste your money. Shut up. But when a few of the talents walked out, a little while after, they recruited people. I was amongst one of those people.
That's what
who
I
tried to
said.
recruit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I
We
said.
got to the contract negotiation phase, which is when everything fell apart because I strongly disagreed with the contract. It was
Okay.
very greedy, very exploitative of my assets. And before I say anything more, again, those weird ass schizo fucking, I don't know what the fuck's mentally wrong with them. Those non-medication having
Are you-
schizos on Twitter.
are you talking about
Just
me?
because I disagree with the contract doesn't mean I have to go around the fucking world and literally commit slander, which, by the way, defamation is literally fucking illegal.
Is she talking about people? Are there people that's actually flaming her because of her tweet yesterday? What the fuck? Curious. Now I wanna see. $2 million, bros. Wait, so people harassed her over this? Crazy.
And like, go be a fucking drama frog.
It is
Just
Twitter.
because I don't like a contract and it's robbing me doesn't mean that A, other people are getting the same contract, and B, doesn't mean that other people disagree with it as much. They try to monetize my assets that I worked for. Like, I can also tell you right now, flipping burgers at McDonald's isn't the way to go and people will still fucking apply.
Chat, why do I have deja vu? Is this a very old video? I'm having deja vu right now. I'm having deja vu. 16 hours ago, so this is new.
what does that say about anything? Everyone has a different level of sacrifice they're willing to commit to. That level of sacrifice was not something I was willing to commit to at all whatsoever. But everyone's different, bro. Everyone's fucking different.
True.
If they... So let me go into more detail and explain what the frick is going on. When they
Okay.
reached out, I was very, very, very particular about what I want and what I have to offer and my worth. And when they reached out, the person who reached out, bless them, they are an absolute sweetheart. An absolute sweetheart. They promised the fucking world. They had this big ass, long ass meeting and promised the world. Like this, they had this like massive PowerPoint. Hold up. I can't check how long, but it's very long. We had this super long call. It doesn't say how long. But we had this super massive long call of like everything they offer, which was all the way from, you know, legal advice, shows. It was just a whole lot of stuff. Shylily receipts, girl, bro, nah, I'm not gonna dox everyone who was in the call at that time. But I do need a mental refresher real quick. Give me
Okay.
hold up. Let me mute everything.
Yeah.
They have this like beautifully crafted thing of like how VShojo operates, first of all, how they're true to their values, the tech team, and all the strong finances they had. They were showcasing all the events
Haha,
they can do
values.
for me. Online, offline, organization-based projects like product management, third-party support, blah, blah, blah. Online events such as debuts, coordinating of contractors, hype and marketing, media, assets, and whatnot.
God
They
damn it, Todd
they have cases
Howard.
on all the things they have been doing, such as the Minecraft server and what they're doing for that, IRL stuff and VIRL stuff, backpacking and whatnot. For which talents they did this
What the fuck is VIRL stuff?
for, what debut events they have been doing, what concerts, birthday concerts, offline events, online events, all the highlight videos they have for those online events, consultations, international relationship industry, public relations, finance, security.
Oh, she's reading off of...
DMCA takedowns, copyright, escalations.
She's absolutely reading off of like what that bro said to her.
Systems,
A bunch of
interviews,
nothing
blah, blah,
burgers.
blah, PR management, interviews, takedowns with like all kinds of teams that they work with, helping with commissioning, games, collabs, blah, 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 support in voice acting, scheduling support, even lessons for like other stuff, mental health and therapy, merchandise, merch production. And then we got
Oh my god. They're using everything, dude. Fucking, that's actually everything. They really did promise the world. Holy crap.
and that was all beautiful. That was where everything, this is where everything is like, holy shit, this is insane. Also, just as a context reminder, when VShojo opened their applications way before that, I applied. It actually made it past the first wave, and then never heard anything back, ever, never ever. So needlessly to say, it was first of all, it was my long-lived dream to join Hololive. They didn't want me, or rather, never looked at my application or anything. This is
Okay.
before I debuted, by the way. This is a long time ago.
Okay.
I wanted to join Hololive.
You debuted in February or something 2022. Yeah. I remember Lily.
Never heard back from them.
I
or
remember
anything
what
like it.
Lily was like before she was popular. Chat, I'm an OG. Unlike some of you guys. You guys don't remember this, but there used to be drama between Lily and Vebe.
So when I saw
Okay. I mean, okay.
that the VShojo girls had so much fun and they were such a tight-knit group and like collabs and hangouts and they looked like the most beautiful people on planet to me. So I applied. Didn't make it very far. Made it like past the first or second. I don't remember. Past the first phase for sure. And I just kinda got ghosted. They looked like beautiful. I was like, whoa. Like my heart was like, I really wanted to be part of those girls. Like it was just perfection.
I
you
wanna
know?
be like
I was
them.
like, dude, I fit right in.
She
And,
literally got pulled the fucking Uma Musume dreaming idol Hololive dream thing.
Yeah. Then, far later, eventually at some point, they reached out at the almost peak of my career and they were trying to hire me.
Okay.
So they were giving me this whole presentation of what they can do for me, which was great and all. But then we came to a list of things that are very important to me. I can run down the list super quick. It should be easy to find.
Let's
I don't have the
go!
list saved anyway, but
Let's go, Lily.
I know who I send it to. So
You know, pausing. How do I want to say this? Isn't it? How did they get Amalie to sign up to them?
if you give me
You know, like, did anybody warn her? Were there signs? Did you just ignore it because it's VShojo?
A hot moment. I can't find the list. So I have a list of like non-negotiable values. I absolutely, entirely, without a doubt, non-negotiable. Absolutely not. Okay. This is a big ass list.
Her non-negotiables.
I also noted
okay.
some red flags that I noticed right away. But keep in mind, those are when I at this stage of the contract, when I call them red flags, it is more so. I've been dealing with contracts for a while at this point in my career. Lots of contracts are, I hate this word so much, standard contracts. So things you can negotiate. You can negotiate, right? My biggest contract was the revenue share. I did not like how their revenue splits with merchandise and similar things. I'm not gonna go through the whole list like in detail. It is literally like
it's huge.
A 2-page fucking doc, bro. But they wanted too much revenue share, way too much.
Yeah, for merch. Yeah, that's literally why. Is it? Yeah. So we do know this because Kason mentioned a while back that they took revenue from merch and sponsorships. So see, chat, the dynamic with like deals with that is that if you're a small person, like you're a small VTuber that doesn't really make that much money off of merch, you would be okay signing all of that away, right? If you're somebody who makes most of your money from merch, especially when you're as big as Shylily, like for example, if you have a, maybe a gamer subs thing or a fucking, I don't know, like it literally could be anything. Then you get fucked in the ass. You have fucked in the ass. The bigger you are, the more you have to lose when you join an agency. Unless you are joining the agency to try out a new thing or for fun. Because like for example, a big indie could join a VTuber agency not because of the money, but because he wants to try acting out a character and see what that's like. Some VTubers could join an agency even if they don't need to because they just want the community aspect of it. Right? Like, it depends on what you want to see in a VTuber agency. But, like, merch, if you're wanting to join an agency because you want money, if you're big, maybe don't.
Absolutely not it. And the money they offered me in exchange for taking this much of my revenue was just not even that was an insult. It was an insult. The money they said they would provide me with each month for stuff like concerts, models, air assets, commissions, whatever, it was an insult. With how much they take, it's an insult.
$100?
I didn't like how they kept calling 50-50 splits. That was a genuine red flag because they kept calling 50-50 splits the what was that word?
The standard.
Industry standard.
It is. Unfortunately, it is. It's not a red flag. It just is. And I don't think you should blame any corpo for that. Blame the JP culture for normalizing that.
Any corpo that hires you and always puts emphasis on industry standard, run. Run.
Interesting.
50-50 is not the industry standard. It is.
I mean, hey, I don't know if I can agree with that. But I don't know. I've never seen too many contracts.
It's not. Absolutely not. No.
For a VTuber corpo, it kinda is, unless... Because really, you can't find a corpo, a VTuber corpo that has, like, anything significantly higher. Or at least, like, a big one. Maybe she's talking about it from a talent agency perspective. Like, like MCM or Mythic or something. Where they only take, like, a small amount. But, like, I don't know. I don't know if I can agree with Lily there. But again, like I said, it's not like I've seen too many contracts.
It should be much closer to, and like, some people get as low as 20%, 15 or 10.
Yeah, no, okay, yeah. Okay, so with that context, she is definitely talking about, like, talent agencies, literary agencies, brand deals, not brand deals, like people that gets you stuff in Hollywood or shit like that. No, she's definitely talking about that. Yeah, but like industry standard in terms of in the corpo sphere in VTubing, unfortunately.
50-50 is abysmal. Also, third-party deals was also the biggest red flag. They wanted 5% on third-party deals. I wanted them to negotiate it down to 0. If you don't know what third-party deals are, third-party deals is stuff that they have nothing to do with. It's me doing stuff. Mine. If Mythic brings me an offer, they want 5% on top of Mythic's.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Nah, so I was like, negotiate this down to 0. One thing that wasn't a red flag at first, I also told them, stay the fuck away from gamer subs. Stay the fuck away. Literally, stay the fuck away. And
From gamer subs? Whoa, okay, why?
first they were like, sure, fair. But then they tried to be dodgy about it, and they were like, for the time being, yes, until we renegotiate the contract. I was like, no, stay the fuck away. No renegotiation. And their excuse for this was as part of
Wait, did I misunderstand that? What?
told them, stay the fuck away from gamer subs. Stay the fuck away.
Oh, okay. Do not touch her gamer subs brand deal. Okay, that's what. Okay. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Literally, stay the fuck away.
Yeah, don't
And at
touch her
first they
deal
were
with
like,
gamer
sure,
subs.
fair. But then they tried to be dodgy about it, and they were like, for the time being, yes, until we renegotiate the contract. I was like, no, stay the fuck away. No renegotiation. And their excuse for this was as part of VShojo and part of the brand name, part of the income and opportunities that come my way.
Yeah, because like I was about to say, yeah, that's kind of bad because doesn't she partially own gamer subs? Like that was like a whiplash on my end at first.
to
But yeah,
VShojo in my name. And I said, no, all of these things are stuff I did myself. You don't touch it. So yeah, the biggest red flags were, one of them was they refused to go down to 0% third-party deal fees. Again, third-party means Mythic gets me a sponsor and VShojo isn't touching it.
Or
I
gamer
get
subs,
myself something. I don't want VShojo to fucking touch it.
yeah.
And they
I feel like the only way that becomes fair is VShojo gets you the partnership, and if you don't do it,
couldn't let go of that. They just couldn't.
oh, okay.
I said if you have involvement, I said if you're involved in any of these and help out, you can have maximum 5%.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's fair.
Based on involvement, but if there's no involvement, it's 0, and they refused.
Yeah,
And
that's fair.
rather, probably the by far biggest red flag. I say this now, but maybe later on I will get reminded of something else. The by far biggest red flag. The two, sorry, that kind of intertwined. The by far biggest red flag was I asked them to sign a non-compete based on gut feeling and hunches I may have had from rumors that have made their rounds.
Okay.
I asked them to sign a non-compete between
Okay.
them and Mythic. Let me explain what this means. A non-compete means
Interesting.
that if Mythic gives me sponsors.
Yeah.
So what Mythic is, so Mythic Talents, I'm part of Mythic Talents, which is the same as UTA and other places. They give you sponsors.
Yes.
VShojo's talents have also been part of mostly UTA. Long story short, what they do is they read my inbox, they pass on the sponsors, they negotiate sponsors for me. They give me sponsors. I asked VShojo to add or sign a non-compete clause in the contract. What are sponsors? It's when a game pays you to play the game. So I was like, sign a non-compete, because if Mythic gives me a sponsor, let's just keep math really simple, right? If Mythic gives me a sponsor and says they'll pay you $100 if you play this game for an hour, I don't want VShojo to be legally able to go behind my back and contact the sponsor and say, she'll do it for 80, just so VShojo will then
That makes
give the
sense.
sponsor to me and they will be able to take the cut.
That makes
I want them
sense.
to non-compete, so they can't do that. So VShojo can't go to the sponsor and be like, no,
That's
she'll
really smart, actually. If I was a VTuber, I wouldn't even think about that. That's fascinating. That's actually genuinely fascinating. Shylily has actually got a good head on her shoulders. Holy shit.
They'll do it for this
She's
much,
good.
just so they can give me the sponsor and they get their cut. I don't want that. They don't. Mythic got me the sponsor first. I wanted a non-compete that you can't fuck over me and or Mythic. I want a non-compete. Very standard thing. Very
German
standard
engineering,
thing.
exactly.
They didn't want to sign that. They said, when I brought this up, I have proof of everything, by the way, and before anyone tries to pull some weird sneaky shit or VShojo try some weird sneaky shit, I have
Dude, I feel like the reason why Shylily is so defensive or like, very, not necessarily hostile, but like aggressive about the things that she says whenever it comes to drama is because I feel like there's a lot of people gunning for Shylily. Like there's a lot of people in the industry that does not like her. For whatever reason. It can be anything. But it's like, goddamn. And it comes with the territory of being popular. Like, to a certain extent, I also experienced the same thing. But to Shylily, it's like, god damn, bro is ferocious. And you know what? Good for her.
Proof of everything. I have proof of everything, okay? Everything. The whole 2 hours of the first one and whatever of the next following meetings. I prove everything. Anyways, I got all the receipts. Hours of receipts. Anyways, they then tried to argue when I asked about the non-compete. They were like, hey, we operate on a trust basis. And I was like, don't give a shit. Don't care. It's a contract. There is no trust in a contract. There is no trust basis. I know people like there is no trust. There is no fuck. We don't operate on jack shit.
Trust us, bro.
Except for the black on fucking white on this fucking
yeah, no. Join our treasury. We're gonna treat you well. Trust.
contract. Trust basis.
Trust.
The second red flag was in this beautiful first interview where the very beautiful person in the very beginning, they presented everything of what VShojo can and will do for me. I asked straight up because the contract had none of that in there. Not one thing, except for the parts I want money off. Not one of those things was part of it. The only thing part of it was the money they offer me a year and something else. I forgot about what it was. But there were two things. But there was just, again, transactional money things that they had.
None
to
of
put
the
in there.
benefits are in the contract.
So,
yeah, I made a complaint about that when the Nousagi contract got leaked, but apparently I was told that that's a very standard contractor thing. Like, it's very standard stuff, so I don't know too much about that.
not one thing that they offer me as a service was in there. So I simply asked, put them in a contract. Everything you offer, put it in a contract. Needlessly to say, that part never happened.
If you're as big as Shylily that time, that's a very valid thing to ask for.
Happened. And that is
Like,
literally...
even if, look, like, yeah, no, 100%. If I was as big as Shylily, an agency tries to snatch me and I ask for that, I feel like if you were an agency, you would be more than willing to do that. Because, like, however much lawyer fees you have to pay in order to get that contract done as tight as you can is more than worth it for to get me as a talent that earns this much money or is this popular. You know what I mean? Like, even if that is industry standard, I'm sure you're gonna be able to do that for me. If not, then I'm obviously not worth this much money or worth this not much time. How do you, like, that would tell me enough how much you value me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
already making a deal with the fucking devil, because if all of these things are things you promise, there is absolutely no reason to not have them in a contract. These are things you promise. You swore. That's your whole selling point. But when I ask you to put it on paper in the contract that you want me to sign, you refuse. No. 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 The only thing, apart from all the negative, the only thing that was positive in this whole thing was when I asked VShojo if I can reach out to the other talents, because they're trying to hire me. They're trying to make me sign with the company. I said I want to reach out to the other girls and make sure they want me there. First of all, I want to make sure they're aware I'm being recruited. Second of all, I want to make sure they want me there because one part of my list of demands was I refuse to do fake shit. I want that the girls want me there. And they did not tell me to not do that. So that was...
What does that mean?
That was the only thing that I can be like, okay, cool. That's the only thing where they were like, you may reach out to the other parts of VShojo. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure. So, okay.
So that was the only good thing that was part of the contract or contract negotiation.
Basically, I think what Lily tried to say is that she wanted to reach out to the girls and make sure that, like, they're actually friends. Yeah.
They were fine with me reaching out to the other girls. And I did.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I did. And after all that, I decided to not join. I decided if they can't put what I want in there, no. And the reason I call this legal robbery is, again, now that we have a bit more context. Also, they wanted me to have quality payouts. I suggested that's bad. I don't want that. It makes it difficult to...
What's a quality payout? I'm gonna Google that. Health? Health related? Whatever.
Track stuff and human error can persist during these. I want... I don't want that.
Quarterly. Sorry, I heard quality for some reason, but okay.
which, you know, that isn't necessarily the biggest red flag. It's just like it leaves room for error that can be left unaccounted because it's difficult to keep track of these things.
Okay.
So
Valid.
yeah, I noted down that there's nothing malicious with this, but if they take longer than 4 months to get a sponsor page to show up in the books, nothing malicious, but it leaves room for unnoticed error because who the heck keeps track of every sponsor payout from over 4 months ago? We negotiated this to be closer to the industry standard payout length. Yeah. I also wanted to negotiate that any concept they help with, any lore, whatever the fuck, is 100% owned by VShojo. I wanted to negotiate the splits on projects that VShojo is only a partial owner of these things. It's all belonging to me. They don't own any of this. They wanted 100% ownership of everything they help. I didn't like that. What else? I also wanted to argue that VShojo cannot take down whatever they want. If I make a tweet and VShojo doesn't like it, they have to
okay.
ask me to take it down. I have I believe it was 1 week, but I'm not sure. But I wanted them to have a clause in the contract that basically makes it, you can ask me to take it down, but you can't force me. So if I don't want it, if I don't want to take it down.
They don't basically want what's going on in Hololive or Nijisanji to happen to her. Okay, that's fair. Okay.
You simply have to get rid of my contract. I don't like how they can force me to take something down, and I have to comply within, I think it was a week. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I have to actually check the actual contract. This is just my personal notes I'm looking through. But I didn't like that, so I wanted them to add that. I want to make sure they can't abuse this. So I wanted to negotiate the stuff that if I have a week to comply, and if I refuse to take it down, they can terminate my contract instead. That's what I wanted to do. I also wanted an editing team for YouTube relevance because they promised marketing and all kinds of other things. So I said I want an editing team and I want a base amount of things they do for YouTube, and I want to make sure they have a minimum effort a week that they have to reach for YouTube exposure and YouTube stuff. They didn't want to do that either.
I heard that VShojo, I heard that Shylily had problems with YouTube. I don't know to what extent, but it seems like she, maybe it's like a demonetization thing because she's lewd.
The no conflict of interest negotiation, the do not compete hasn't been signed. There was no termination clause in the contract at all whatsoever, which means that I would have to go the full 2 years. I wanted them, let me just check. I wanted so that when the contract renews, they have to inform me, and if I don't provide my signature for the contract renewal, the contract doesn't renew. I want them to terminate the contract if I don't renew. And I also, another reason, the exit clause, I mainly wrote this down. Sorry, I have to catch up on like my notes. And wrote this down because all of the things they offer, if they do not offer them, again, everything they promised, if they end up not fulfilling their end of the contract, I basically have my exit clause. So I don't even necessarily need them to have an exit clause, but I need them to have those things in there because if they don't comply, I can dip. That's another reason as to why I want those things in there, because that basically becomes my exit clause. If I, for example, tell them, hey, if I have a problem with this, you have to help me. Hey, do not compete. Hey, do not do this, this, and this. And if I don't do those things, I can leave. We successfully negotiated, just to also have some positive things, we successfully negotiated security and safety issues. We successfully negotiated project management such as low videos, podcasts, VTuber animes, game shows, 3D shows, D&D streams, 3D space technical expansion and stuff like this. We successfully negotiated terms on operational marketing and everything tied to it. And I said that I negotiated this because VShojo had a presentation when recruiting me for the first time, setting a bunch of services they promised to provide, to sell, the idea of VShojo, but none of them are part of the contract. So we listed the most important ones in the contract to reflect that. But they didn't want to add all of these things in there. They said they would add them in there, but in the actual negotiation with the actual contract, it still ended up not being in there. So only partially. Yeah, the payouts wasn't a red flag. It was just questionable because I wanted to be more industry standard based. Let me just see. Sorry, this is a long note. Oh yeah, there was one thing that we agreed on because there was a clause in the contract that they own all my material basically indefinitely.
What?
Which sounds fucked up.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
And I understand is if I'm part of VShojo and they have a music video of mine up, for example, and I terminate my contract, they would have to take it down too because I no longer own my IP because I own my own IP. But
where's the talent freedom in this, broski? Why?
In my notes, it's marked as
Look, chat. You know what? You tell me a fucking Hololive contract or any GC contract is like this, then you know what? It's fine. You know why? Because we know that Hololive is like this. yeah, like we know that Hololive owns the IP, so that yeah, realistically, because they own the IP, they will fucking bonk anything that they have that IP on if you're no longer there or don't like it. But because this is VShojo, talent freedom, you know? They own the IP, like, yeah.
Successful, but the problem is those notes are before we negotiated the contract on paper. This were verbal negotiations, but they just said like, yeah, too. But I basically said that stuff that I created and uploaded while being part of VShojo can stay up, but you don't own any of my whatever forever. So I wanted this clause to be more specific in the contract, that I understand what they tried to do. They don't want to get fucked over by tenants leaving and then having to delete their existence from everything. All the merch, all the videos, all the music stuff ever created, all the concerts, all the commentary, all the everything ever created they can't go through all of this every time a tenant leaves and delete everything. But I wanted them to reflect that this will only ever reflect stuff that is created as part of VShojo. Nothing before, nothing after, nothing following. And I have a business degree. I just have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lawyer who may or may not have dealt with contracts of it may have been suspiciously enough a very similar contract. So this wasn't the first rodeo. I just have a great, amazing lawyer. I love him so much.
Good for
and
you.
then I asked him to knock all of the third-party stuff out of the contract, which in my notes I marked as resolved and successfully negotiated. But again, once we actually did get to the contracting phase, with their lawyer, who was very unprofessional, by the way, because she was constantly just zoning out. She constantly didn't know where the fuck we were. Every time we needed her to reply to something, she was always doing like can you repeat that for me? Can we go over this again? I'm like, bitch, you ain't paying attention. Holy shit, you're not paying any attention. You're literally zoned the fuck out anyways.
Bro's probably charging fucking $50 an hour or something too. Probably even more.
So that was just frustrating, because I was like, you're supposed to be my lawyer when I'm joining? Ugh! I also didn't like her condescending tone whenever she spoke about...
Maybe that lawyer just didn't know anything about VTubing, so they have to get... things has to be repeated to them, you know?
Industry standards, and making me and my lawyer feel like the people who don't know what we're talking about, when we are the actual golden standard of industry standards. We did not ask in anything something that isn't industry standard. I just was so excited to join the girls, and we literally only did everything super industry standard. But they're the ones who always claim that all of their cuts and everything is industry standard. Also, another thing with everything that's bad, I would like to note, VShojo does not take a cut of your Twitch dashboard. At least that's what I've been assured. All of the cuts they take is money from sponsors, third-party deals, merch,
is she gonna say that's wrong?
But like I said, as a year-long successful indie, I wanted them to stay away from all third-party shit they have nothing to do with, and they just couldn't comply with that. So yeah. And now to the people who still go like, why didn't you avoid? Shut the fuck up, bro. If you have nothing to lose, if you have nothing and they want something of everything, they ain't getting shit anyways. For someone who has nothing, this contract isn't even that exploitatory. It still has some icky stuff in there, but like, if you've got nothing,
that's literally what I said. The only way that this contract can be okay for you is if you're a nobody, if you're a fucking 2-view indie that has no prospects, right? Like, a lot of this can be okay because a lot of them don't even apply to you. The more you scale, obviously you have a lot more to lose.
You can use this as an opportunity to grow yourself into something over the next 2 years. You can use it as an opportunity to grow.
Yeah, put it in your resume.
For everyone, but it is absolute daylight robbery for people
you.
who are independent.
For him, for
When
her.
did I ask? 2023 second half during summer-ish. Yeah.
So August.
Like that deal is entire. Keep in mind that contract had none of the things they promised. They said they operate on trust. The entire first over 2 hours sit down with them of what they can offer, what VShojo is, and how they can help a talent and their value to the talent. None of this was in the contract. Almost none. There were 2 things that were. But those things, it's mostly because they have to, because it's, once again, about their assets. I want to make sure I don't get more assets than I can ask for. That's probably why it's in there. So none of that was in the contract. That says a lot. So yeah, also to other people who say that the contract is the best they've ever gotten, doesn't have to be wrong. It doesn't have to be wrong.
Yeah?
Also, some people don't have.
I'm glad she has the self-awareness to do that, by the way. No, see, chat, look, this is my problem with a lot of like big indies too. They are all about fucking, you know, you don't need corpos, you know, a lot of survivorship bias thing. Like, yeah, no, look, yeah, like, you know, all these sorts of things. Like, I've seen it too. I can't exactly name anybody because I don't remember the exact people, and I don't exactly remember the exact words either, just impressions of them in my mind. But a lot of people do that, especially when they're big. And I'm glad that she's self-aware enough to know that a lot of people won't necessarily see it her way, their way, because she's big. A lot of these people don't. A lot of these people genuinely see the value that these other agencies are able to give them because they don't fucking have any. Like, and I don't like the survivorship bias thing. Like, just because you made it doesn't mean other people are going to make it the same way too. Like, that's terrible behavior. Like, to a certain extent, that's grandstanding behavior. You're trying to make it seem like, well, maybe these people are not doing it on purpose, right? But that kind of statement basically says that, you know, my way is the best way, or my way is the good way. Yeah.
An amazing lawyer as I have. Some people may look at the contract considering the PowerPoint presentation they have probably also received in the beginning. And they are like, this is fantastic, without realizing that this entire presentation doesn't exist in the actual contract. And some people don't even have a fucking lawyer. They only look at the PowerPoint and they're like, this is amazing. Plus, who is to say they all got the same contract? Plus, who is to say I didn't help anyone else? The lawyer that I pay for, remember, my lawyer, the lawyer I pay for, I gave all of those notes for free to everyone, including my personal notes and all of the red lines, to everyone who asked. Because I didn't make me sign an NDA. Nothing, they made me sign nothing that doesn't give me the right to do so. So,
yo, no NDAs? Wait, really?
I try and somehow once again go on some weird fucking hate train because you want to dick ride my fucking hate train so bad because you're so desperate to find something wrong with me, fuck you.
Dude, Lily is so aggressive. Yeah, no, she's super aggressive. Let's fucking go, I guess. Damn, broski. Damn.
Try always making shit up when there's nothing to make up about. If you don't know shit, maybe just shut your fucking mouth. Kind of fucking weird to have handstands all the
Is her streams always like this? She crashes out really good. It's actually kind of funny.
day long because this is the only fucking way I can explain so much shit's coming out the upper end. Holy fuck. Some people are so mentally goddamn deranged.
She's so aggressive, dude. It's such a German thing to do.
Making shit up about drama and how I hate people who join VShojo because I didn't warn them. Like, what the fuck kind of schizo bullshit is that? You know how many friends I've actually actively warned to not do something and they went ahead and did it and I was just simply sitting there being happy for them? And then a year or two later when they're like, wah, wah, I'm simply there for them. I do hate them with a little bit of an I told you so, but mostly I'm there for them. I still poke fun at them, but I'm there for them. Sometimes you warn people like, hey, that girlfriend of yours is fucking toxic, don't do it, and they still date them. What do? You sit fucking through it like a good fucking friend that you are. Shut the fuck up. You hit them with a little tiny, I fucking told you she a bitch. But then you're simply there for when times are rough. Done.
Dude.
That's just how some people learn. Some people don't want to listen.
She's
Or they
so
believe in all
angry. It's
the
so
bullshit that being
funny.
fed down their throat of like all of the nice things they get to see and the good, too good to be true stuff. Also, a lot of people are very insecure and believe they can't make it.
Her
because of-
mouth is a Gatling gun of shit. She rapid fires shit, dude. Shit talks. Holy crap.
Yeah, and then a lot of you don't poke at least a little fun at them. Yeah, sometimes it's your job to just watch the fucking train wreck and just, just be there at the crash site. It's just how it is sometimes in life. Like, those fucking mentally deranged, absolute loser incels have to realize that if you've ever had friendships or values or any meaningful connections in your life, you would know that you can't always warn everyone. Some people will literally ignore your fucking warning and everything you know, and against your better judgment, they have to make your own decisions, and to be a good friend, you simply have to be there for them when everything comes crashing down. But you wouldn't fucking know that because you've never formed a meaningful fucking relationship in your whole fucking life with your father walking out and your mom fucking neglecting your whole family being basically no contract, and you just being in a fucking basement talking about VTubers and trying to shit talk them on based on nothing and no information. Anyways.
Bars! Dude, I need to watch more Shylily, man. I do need to watch more Shylily. Holy crap. She crashes the fuck out. It's actually kind of funny. She is super German.
Yes. Anyways. Sorry, I had to be German for a second there.
Yeah! Holy shit! Dude, we're mind melding right now. We're like, what? We're in the zone.
Anyways, that was the kind of worms I opened yesterday, and I just wanted to put down the facts a little bit of like why it was such a red flag contract.
Valid crash out, by the way.
absolutely disgusting, and how I didn't like their final meeting with their lawyer. It was very unprofessional. I did not enjoy the condescending matter of their lawyer, their contracting lawyer. I did not enjoy the manipulation of what I'm supposed to believe is the industry standard. That was not nice. Them promising to not take anything of my assets that I've owned prior to VShojo, just to backtrack and be like, yeah, there is no, yeah, stop, take your fucking greasy ass, sticky ass fingers off of my assets and my money and be good. I just wanted to have a good time with the beautiful girls, man. Was my fucking my entire career's dream was to be part of fucking Hololive, and when that didn't work out, I was like, I discovered VShojo because, well, I discovered Hololive way before VShojo. And when that didn't work out, I saw that you can have the same fun in the Western sphere as well. that was my pep talk.
Amazing. Yeah. No, I agree with everything she said. Except the whole industry standard thing. But like I said, she speaks industry. I think she's talking about industry standard with like the European or the like a general non-VTubing context. But whatever the case is, I agree. I agree. Hollow missed it. I mean, chat. Unfortunately, there are just too many diamonds in the rough in the industry. Hololive can't get everyone. I'm sure there are people that Hololive just had to turn down because of their limited state. Like, you know, yeah, maybe in another life. But I like Shylily the way she is right now. Did you watch the Mint video? Yes, I have watched the Mint video. But yeah, amazing. Is there anything more going on right now? I mean, it's probably nighttime for the western side of the world, so I don't expect anything to come out. But still, holy shit, dude. Holy fucking shit.